This changes things up a bit. Hey guys, Kingpin here. Welcome to the next episode of TaleCraft. So I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm recording this in post just because there was a slight change of plans today. While recording, I was just exploring, looking for different things to do for other episodes of TaleCraft, when, as you saw in the intro, I stumbled across an ancient city and almost died. What comes next is a direct continuation of the intro. We just got to the ancient city. It's a bit of a different episode today, but I think you guys will enjoy just as much. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do. Now, let's get back down to the adventure. This is not good at all. We already set off a shrieker and we've been here for 3 seconds. I've got no idea where the other ones are, if there are any. We need to get out of here quick, because this is not safe at all. If you don't know, this is called an ancient city. It was added in the Wild update probably 2 years ago, and this is one of the most dangerous biomes in Minecraft history. If I had to summarize it quickly, I would say there's a gimmick in this area that has to do with sound. Placing blocks, eating, destroying things, whatever you do makes sound. As you saw, those blocks just lit up. If those activate what's called a shrieker, there's going to be something not good that comes out of the ground and tries to hunt us down. We'll talk about that later when it's safe. This is the home of the Warden, the strongest mob in the entire game, and we needed an escape route in case he spawns. He spawns if you trip shriekers, which we've already tripped one. If you remember, that's when the screen went dark and we heard that really scary noise in the intro. But this is an ancient city, home to some of the best loot in the game. Hopefully we can find some. There's some shriekers over there. I see some sensors. We'll talk about all that in due time. But the one beacon of hope that this city has is right now we're walking on wool. Wool is the only block family in the game that can dampen the sounds that your footsteps make. Otherwise you have to crouch to avoid making noise. But on wool, you can walk, sprint, jump, do whatever you want, and you'll never make sound and alert the skulk. Skulk is what makes up the ancient city and the deep dark biome, which is technically what the ancient city spawns in. And I found an area where there's not much skulk. If there's no skulk, there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Opening chests makes a lot of noise too, so does placing torches, but like I said, there is nothing to worry about. And check that out, a diamond hoe. That'll be really helpful for clearing out some of the skulk later on. There's another chest over there. Luckily we found this safe zone pretty close to where we jumped into the city. And check that out, a name tag, some glowberries, and even some skulk sensors. That'll be really helpful when we bring it back to the village later on. Hopefully we can get out of here. Alright, so we've made it back to the village, dropped off the stuff we already found, and are now back. I found this ancient city completely by accident, so now we're back and a little bit more prepared. We brought some wool from the village and enough tools to take this thing on. We have a clear inventory so we can get a lot of loot. Now let's do this for real. Do you see those right there? They almost have 4 little teeth in the corners. Those are called skulk shriekers, and they're the most dangerous thing in this ancient city. Realistically, the only dangerous thing. If you recall those tentacle-looking things, you can kind of see some right there. Right there. There's a zombie or something in that tower. Did you see how that block glows blue when it hears a noise or a vibration? That's a skulk sensor. If the sensor is close to a shrieker, it'll sound it off. Your screen will get dark and you won't be able to see anything. There's a shrieker right down there. Luckily other mobs can't spawn them in. Only we can. But if you activate a sensor around a shrieker 3 times, the strongest mob in the game is going to spawn in and hunt you down relentlessly. The ancient city is a very dangerous place because of the skulk. We're going to have to clear it out if we want to get the loot, because we cannot deal with the Warden, not even with late game items. Like I mentioned before, wool is the only block family that is safe to walk on in the ancient city if you don't want to crouch. Crouching can be really slow, so if you place down wool you can sprint around and do whatever you want without making noise that alerts the shriekers, the sensors, or even the Warden if it happens to be in the world right now, which luckily it is not for us, because we haven't made many mistakes yet. Luckily there's some wood here, because I completely forgot a crafting table and I don't have a pickaxe currently. So this... Wait a minute, this is dark oak wood. Huh, that's interesting. The only place we've seen dark oak wood in the world so far has been that pillager outpost. We even stole some early on to use it in our village. I wonder if the illagers know something about this place. This is the only other place we've seen dark oak wood in this world before. Have the pillagers been down here? Let's look for more clues. A lot of buildings in the ancient city are made of wool floors. That's why one of the most important tools you can bring to the ancient city is actually a pair of shears. And luckily I remembered them, and I brought plenty of extra iron. Some of the floors are 2 blocks thick of the wool, so there's plenty extra for you to take. There's enough to bridge around all over the place, and hopefully not make any noise. The reason you don't want to make any noise is because of that right there. There's a shrieker. If we would have just jumped in that water and there happened to have been a sensor around, it would have sounded off, and then we would only have 1 strike left until the warden is on top of us. So we need to disable this shrieker. There's 2 ways you can do it. One, you can put wool around it. See, there's a sensor right next to it. If we move right now, that sensor sends a signal to that shrieker. Luckily, we're on wool. See? It lit up, but we killed the shrieker just in time. Now we need to get rid of these things. And now, since we're walking and there's no vibrations, see, we placed that torch and nothing happened. Now we can freely destroy all of this skulk with that diamond hoe we found and get a ton of experience. Skulk mining is one of the best ways to level up in the game. You get a ton, and it's really easy to do. The strategy of an ancient city is pretty much just go around, destroy all of the shriekers, and then mine skulk. Place torches in the areas that are safe so you know you can run around and do anything over there. If there's sensors with no shriekers, they're relatively harmless. The only bad things down here are shriekers. We've got to get rid of them all. We have to break this shrieker and just hope there's none others around. Okay, we're in the clear. That was in a tough spot because there was a block right next to it, and we couldn't place wool there, because if we did, we'd have to break the block first, and if we broke the block, it would make a sound anyways. Sometimes you just have to hope there's no shriekers around and get lucky. But for now, this new area is relatively safe. We can mine all this skulk pretty freely. This is a skulk catalyst. Basically, if anything were to die around this, it would spread more skulk. One single catalyst can spread thousands of blocks of skulk, so you gotta get rid of these too. We're running low on wool, we should probably reload. Ancient cities are a really cool concept, and it adds a really unique challenge to the game. They're one of my favorite structures, and I'm glad we found it. Wait a minute, was that? That's basalt, isn't it? Whoever made this structure must have been to the Nether too. If it's the Illagers, maybe they're more advanced than we thought. They're the only places we can find dark oak in structures. And now they have travel to the Nether too? This is getting more bizarre by the minute. Hey, diamond pants and a saddle. Ancient cities have such good loot. Definitely one of the best loot tables for the early game. There's some more catalysts over there. I don't see any... When did I possibly look at this Enderman? Okay, we've got to think quick, because if we make noise and fight this thing, it's going to set off every shrieker and the warden's going to kill us both. We've got to get out of here. This is not good. This is not good. Think. I think there was some water back this way. Luckily, we already made sure this area is safe. See if we can't get out of here. No, it was... We just need to stick to the light. That's the only place we can go where it's safe. I think the water was right around this bend, though. Luckily, Enderman can't go in water. Yeah, good try. Wait, was he even chasing me at this point? That was almost bad for no reason. No, he's up there. Yeah, somebody's still upset. I'm taking your ender pearl, though. That's a good deterrent for the warden if it does end up spawning, because we can just throw it if it happens to be on top of us. Where did you go? That was too close for no reason, and that reminds me I should probably set my spawn, too. Don't want to have a close encounter down here. There you are. Luckily we enchanted the sword in the last episode. Sharpness 3 on breaking 3, courtesy of the piglins. Alright, we've got our spawn set, and that was way too close. I already checked, there's no shriekers around here, so all these sensors are pretty much pointless. Who are you alerting? And wow, check that out. More glowberries, more echo shards, a whole lot of coal, and some diamond pants. Ancient cities are a great place to get books, too, which we've been really low on ever since we made our library and enchantment setup. This Shrieker's in a tricky spot because we don't know if there's any others around here, so we don't just want to break it. This means we'll have to use the wool trick, which pretty much just means building a little pyramid out of wool around it so it dampens all of the sound around it and it can't possibly get set off. That Shrieker's 100% neutralized now. It can never go off as long as we have the wool on there. We can do anything we want. See? Just placed a torch and nothing happened. Oh no. See that little particle effect? That's a Shrieker. Now the screen's getting dark. We accidentally tripped one. We weren't careful enough. I don't know how we possibly could have missed that one, though. We'll have to get up there and get rid of it, though. If we make one more mistake, the warden's gonna get us. We've already tripped 2 Shriekers, and we can only trip one more before the warden spawns. He comes in on the 3rd one, but I think every 15 to 20 minutes you don't trip one, your count goes down by 1. So if we were to AFK for an hour, it would go back to 0 and we could trip 3 more effectively. Ancient cities are made up of a bunch of small structures that are completely randomly generated. This one over here that we've found actually has some of the best loot in the entire ancient city, but as you can see there's 2 Shriekers there. So this is going to be difficult. We gotta make sure there's none more on the outskirt. Yeah, there's one right there. Good try. Hopefully there's no sensor around, because remember, a Shrieker without a sensor to alert it is pretty much harmless unless you step right on it. There's another chest in that tower. Yeah, there's a lot of sensors over there, so we cannot trip that one. We'll have to be extra careful. Looks like we've got a sensor right there. Try to disable this one first. The ancient city is fun because it's almost like a bunch of little puzzles. You have to figure out how to disable each Shrieker individually. Due to the power of editing, you probably think we're on strike 3 still, but it's probably been about 30 minutes since we tripped the first Shrieker, so I'd say we can probably make one more mistake until the warden comes. There's another one there, we've got to be careful. But we should be good to break these 2. I don't see any sensors around, I think we got rid of them all. And maybe we can line it up to where we break both of them really quickly. Oh, no, that did not work. And please don't have the warden spawn on us. I think we're good. That was too close. Definitely 1 strike left, though. The other reason I like this structure a whole lot is because it spawns with skulls. Skulls and other mob heads are really hard to get at this point in the game, and they're really good for decoration. This will definitely go in the office. And wow, check out all those books. And even some candles. We haven't started to make a bee farm or even harvest honeycombs yet. So all these candles are going to be really nice for decoration. Our office is about to get a nice revamp with decorations from the ancient city. Hey, a lot of bones too. We've been low on bone meal. And a 3rd pair of diamond leggings. Wow. Our inventory is getting full. This loot's definitely going to help though. We should probably head back soon. I climbed this tower so we could get a good view of what we've already done. We've already knocked out that entire section. Pretty much anywhere you see light, we've conquered already. At least bright light. There's some soul torches around and soul lanterns, which don't glow as bright. But this thing right there, it's at a bad angle, but this is kind of the town square of the ancient city. Alright, I think we should head back. Our inventory is full, and we're probably pushing our luck by being here. But I see some shriekers over there, and normally I wouldn't do this, but since I'm a content creator now, how about we spawn the warden so you guys can see him? Let's just bridge over there and drop a block down, and hopefully there's some shriekers and sensors that can alert them. And there. And of course, the one time there's no sensors. Come on, how close do we have to get? The one scary thing about the warden is that when he spawns in, your entire screen is going to go black. You have no idea where he is. And it's the strongest mob in the game. Yeah, here he comes. All of his attacks pierce armor, too. Did we have another strike left? I don't hear him spawning. Maybe we were down here for longer than I thought. Wait a minute. Do you hear those heartbeats? Yeah, he's walking around somewhere. I just heard him. We need to get out of here, or at least to a safe place to where I can explain what this thing actually is. You think it's scary now. Imagine being in the middle of the ancient city where he can be around any corner, and the screen being this dark. It's no joke. This is actually genuinely creepy. The Warden is the strongest mob in the game. It's immune to lava, it's immune to fall damage, and you really can't kill it without the best endgame gear. The only thing you can do at this point in the game to avoid the Warden is to not spawn it in the first place. If you spawn it, you're probably dead if you don't have an escape route. He's right over... I don't know if you guys saw that, but he's right there. The Warden is completely blind. However, it can hear and smell really well. It can track you the same way the Skulk does. So if you drop blocks from above, you can sort of manipulate where it goes. But it has a very good sense of smell, so it'll always gravitate towards you. The only way to get rid of it without killing it is let it go a full minute without sensing you. That means you just have to get far away from it. And believe it or not, if the Warden got mad, we're actually not safe up here. It has a ranged attack that does almost half your health, probably a little bit over, and it can go through blocks. 25 blocks high to be specific, which we're probably not 25 blocks above this thing, so let's hope it doesn't find us. That was it trying to smell where we are, and it's probably getting pretty close. Let's see if we can't find it. It's actually surprisingly loud. It must be close. There it is, there it is. There's no way it's going to find this staircase. We need to get out of here. It's going to see us. Yeah, it sees us. We got to run. Go, 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 go. Okay, that noise means it's leaving. I waited a while with it. It took a minute for it to leave. Why do I still hear heartbeats, though? There's no shot I spawned two. Oh yeah, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, there can be theoretically infinite wardens in a world. There is no cap to how many can spawn if you keep setting these things off. Listen to the heartbeats. They're really slow and spaced out. That means it has no shot of detecting us right now. The faster they are, the more likely it is it's going to see you. If not, it's already seen you and is running straight at you. I actually can't see this one, though. The screen is just too dark when the warden's around. Placing torches can help a little bit, but where is he? Wait, was that... I think I just got a flash. Yep, there he is, there he is. He's coming. We need to make this staircase a little bit more difficult to reach next time we come down here. But for now, I think that's enough Ancient City. Let's get back to the village. Upon arrival back to the village, I decided to share some of the spoils with the villagers. The armorers deserve a reward. Mining all that skulk, we got to level 33, which means we can do 2 30-level enchantments. A 30 level enchantment takes 3 levels, so we can do it twice before we get to level 27, then only to get 3 more levels to do another. We ended up getting a really good pickaxe, Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 4, and then a Protection 4 book. Couldn't have asked for much better. Check out the new additions, a soul lantern, some candles, and a skull. I like the additions to the office every time we go to a new structure. It really makes it seem like we're conquering the overworld one step at a time. Even though this episode was kind of filmed in the middle of the recording of another episode, I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this one. The Ancient City is really fun, really scary, and really intense. So I hope you guys thought it was a good video. Kingpin out. See you soon.